Anna Atkins, 1799 to 1871, was an English botanist and photographer known for her pioneering work in the field of cyanotype photography. Her unique combination of scientific knowledge and artistic skill enabled her to create beautiful, detailed images of plants and algae that had never been seen before. Anna Atkins was born in Tunbridge, Kent, England in 1799, to a prominent family. Her father, John George Children, was a chemist and mineralogist, and her mother, Hester and Children, was an amateur botanist. As a child, Atkins was fascinated by the natural world, and spent much of her time exploring the countryside around her home. Atkins was educated at home by her mother, who instilled in her a love of science and botany. She also received formal education in drawing and watercolor painting, which would prove invaluable to her later work. In the early 19th century, photography was still in its infancy, and there were few techniques available for creating permanent images. One of the most popular methods was the daguerreotype, but it was expensive and required a high level of skill to produce. Atkins became interested in photography after attending a lecture by Sir John Herschel, a leading astronomer and inventor. Herschel had developed a new photographic process called cyanotype, which used a combination of iron salts and sunlight to create blue and white images. Atkins immediately saw the potential of the cyanotype process for her botanical work and began experimenting with the technique. She collected specimens of plants and algae, arranged them on paper, and exposed them to the sun using Herschel's process. The result was a series of stunning images that captured the delicate details and intricate structures of the plants in vivid blue and white. Atkins continued to refine her technique, experimenting with different types of paper and exposure times to achieve the best results. In 1843, Atkins published a book called Photographs of British Algae, Cyanotype Impressions. It was the first book ever to be illustrated with photographs, and a landmark in the history of photography. The book contained 307 cyanotype images of algae specimens, accompanied by scientific descriptions and classifications. It was a major contribution to the field of botany, and helped to establish Atkins as a leading figure in the scientific community. After the publication of Photographs of British Algae, Atkins continued to experiment with photography, creating images of ferns, feathers, and other natural specimens. She also corresponded with other scientists and photographers, sharing her knowledge and expertise. Atkins died in 1871, but her legacy lived on. Her pioneering work in cyanotype photography inspired other artists and scientists, and helped to pave the way for the development of modern photography. Today, her images are celebrated for their beauty and scientific significance, and her name is remembered as a trailblazer in the history of photography.